All right, so
I have to give you a little bit of credit for this.
Yeah, we can overdub it later. Just saying.
Haven't had any crazy stories about. Oh wait, no, I do. I got robbed at gunpoint, mugged.
Checking for me, but I ain't checking for them. No.
sleazy real estate guys.
But
All right, so another episode here of the EP podcast. I have my lovely friend here, Milan Reid. Very excited to have him on today. Many great stories and experiences that we've shared. So I can't wait to hear his end of it and just to get to know him at a more deeper level.
Yes.
Mylan, how are you doing? Good to see you, buddy.
Great, Emilio. How are you, Mr.
Thank you for being here at short notice.
Thank you for having me on such short notice.
It's good seeing you, buddy.
Great seeing you too, EP.
All right, man. So
Great to be here.
So today is what? Thanksgiving Eve.
Thanksgiving Eve.
What's that? That's funny. That's all right. I don't mind it. He said that because we kind of tease around about how, like, I last had a Gatorade bottle here and I ripped off the label because I'm like, I'm not doing no free advertising.
No free advertising.
No, I'm just kidding. That's all good. I appreciate that, Ty.
You know what? I'll keep that down here just in case whenever I need a little.
Yeah.
So
it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
I'll let them frame. Appreciate it.
We're not live or anything, so we could always just, edit stuff out. But yeah, Milan, man. Today's Thanksgiving Eve. Today is supposedly the biggest drinking day of the year.
Yes, sir.
So what do you have going on this evening?
This evening, you mean what do we have going on this evening?
Man,
So don't act like you're not a part of the festivities.
Oh
no. So tonight, this evening, me and some friends are supposed to be meeting up at a friend's house for pregame. It was supposed to be. We're thinking about doing like a little Friendsgiving beforehand, but it wouldn't be enough time or too conducive with the time that we're trying to get out to the bar. So we're going to meet up around 7, pregame a little bit, and then leave out to the bar maybe like 8:39 and everything.
Where were you guys heading? Charlie Square?
Charlie Square,
Oh, man. You don't go out to Charlie Square often, so when you do, it's a rare occasion.
Exactly. I go every now and then. It was a blue moon. And you know what's funny? I actually live right around the corner from Charlie, like 5 minutes around the corner.
Do you?
Yeah.
Have I been over?
You've been in my house before.
Have I been over?
Not
Which one?
My house in Wilmington.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Not my dad's house in my house in Wilmington.
Yeah.
You parked your car there, and we went up to Philly and whatnot. So I did. So
one of our many nights.
One of our many
memories.
Rare occasions. So I actually live right around the corner from Charlie, but I'm always in the Newark area. Mm-hmm. That's just kind of like my stomping ground. But every now and then,
but that's where we met.
That's exactly where we met. Exactly. So a lot of good things come out of the Newark Main Street.
Not just crazy things.
Not just crazy. Those two. But
so let's talk about that time we met. So it was we were at Kate's.
Klondike Kate's.
Klondike Kate's. Shout out Klondike Kate's.
Where dreams come true.
Where dreams come true. Is that their saying?
That's my saying. That's
if you can remember them.
Exactly.
So I think it was. I was at the bar, and I saw this guy next to me was celebrating his birthday, and I sometimes can be generous for no reason, and I decided to buy him a shot. And mind you, I didn't even get this guy's name, and then you were next to him with him, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy him a shot and not the other guy a shot. So I went ahead and bought both of you guys a shot. So I literally bought both of you guys a shot without even barely knowing you guys, and mind you, not even like knowing your names. So what was that?
I don't know. You tell me, Mr. Warbucks Moneybags. Shoot. Jeff Bezos, I should say.
No.
No, but that was wild. But I have to say that definitely started. That definitely, I would say, catapulted our acquaintanceship, quickly turned friendship, relationship, because I was just so taken aback by you doing that. I was like, oh snap! Like, this really cool guy was at the bar. I'm about to grab a drink from my friend for his birthday. It's his birthday, so I'm like, all right, let me go, grab a drink. And like you hear us talking about his birthday or celebrating it, and so like you go ahead and like, oh, happy birthday, man! I got you with a drink. I got both of you with a drink and everything. I was like, is this Christmas? Is this an alcoholic Christmas? Like, this guy just out of nowhere don't even know my name. It's just buying us, a drink and everything. So that was really cool. I would say that was one of the staples of your personality that I saw from early on in our friendship that has really stuck with me and everything. How much of a stand-up guy that you are.
I appreciate that.
Genuine.
Man.
And
the love is mutual for sure. The love is mutual for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It's funny because at the time I was thinking to myself, and I was telling people, it's like I need like a party friend. I need a party friend. It's like I feel like I'm always the one that can always stay up latest, like go the hardest, like and all that stuff. And I was saying this. It almost to the point where I got frustrated, and then the world throws at me Milan, and I'm like, boy.
I don't know. It was a package delivery that I don't think you can handle at the time.
and boy, was that the world delivered to me what I asked. And then with that came Rico, and then the rest of the gang.
Yeah, the rest of the posse. Yeah,
man, it was crazy.
Yeah, that was so funny. I remember you saying that you were boosting me because we would. I think the next time we were out Main Street. Thursday, we was, where we always go afterwards. Freddy's. Freddy's wings for the post game, food, music, and all that. So we were all just around the table talking and, hanging out. And you had gotten, another taste of my.
The energy.
The Milan energy. The wild
at the time it was Milan. Because I wasn't sure. Milan. It's always just call you Milan.
Exactly. Something that I never minded.
I mean, it's cool.
Didn't have to stop that. Yeah, it sounds a little more exotic. But I remember you saying you was like, man, I've been wanting, somebody to match my energy whenever we go out. None of my friends could ever match my energy, and like I wanted somebody to match my energy and everything. And then he was like, but then you came along, and man, I don't know, you surpassed it. You were talking about how I was like too wild and everything. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I was I can attest.
that was our origin story.
Yeah,
right?
So origin. Yeah,
so
cheers to
that.
Cheers to the origin story of good friends.
So aside from that, do you want to take us to the top on who Milan is? Who is Milan on the very top? Where did you grow up? Where were you born? Where did you grow up? What's your social security number?
Yeah, all that. Two. I thought you said, where did you go wrong? I was like, I can pinpoint that.
I don't know.
Actually, that's part of the origin story. No, all right. So Milan Reid. I born and raised in Delaware. I also grew up in Philly as well because my grandmother lived in Philly, so to kind of roll it back, my parents were married together when they had me. Then they split, they divorced. My dad married my stepmom, and my mom went on her way. And so I was living with my mother in Newcastle, actually right around the corner from here.
Really?
Newcastle, right behind the Bolorano.
Okay.
So I was living with her up until about like third grade. I was like 8 or so. And then she actually moved up to Philly to live with my grandmother. That's where my grandmother was living. So I had moved down to Middletown where my dad was living. My dad and my stepmom, I moved down there. So I was living with them about from like fourth grade to 8th grade. So I was living in Middletown, Delaware, going to school down there. But also I would be up in Philly for like the weekends and the summertime. So I kind of grew up in both places. Yeah. And the burbs, Middletown burbs and everything, but also, Philly city life.
Where do you prefer?
As well. At the time, I definitely preferred Philly because that's where my mom was, my stepmom, not my stepmom, my mom, my grandmom, and everything. I had a lot more freedom there and everything, and like I just loved, the city. I was taking the L as a kid. the train. It's the L is like above, like subway is like the train that goes below the L passes through the railways. It's
I'm
like,
glad you clarified because I thought you were specifically talking about taking L's. Like
no. We call it the L as in like the train and whatnot.
Okay.
So I was taking that into the city all the time, so that was fun. But I do love my Delaware life. This is where I was born and raised. So right now I'm have to say probably Delaware, but I do appreciate the background that living in Philly as a kid has given me. Yeah. So that happened and everything. Back to who I am. Milan is an aspiring actor. Mm-hmm. Aspiring actor, and I would say model as well. I've done a few stuff. That whole
can you walk us through like the beginning of all that stuff too?
Yeah. So I got into acting from when I was in 5th grade at Brickmill Elementary in Middletown, and it's so funny how it happened, how it came about because one, I was always a shy, timid kid when I was younger. I was not the outgoing, confident person that I am today, now. So the fact that I was in class and they had announcements for the play Annie, auditions for the Broadway play Annie coming up, and I'm in homeroom listening to the announcements, and something told me, go ahead and go out to audition for this show, for this play. I don't know what. I mean, at this point, because I flourished so much in acting, I know it had to have been God, kind of giving me that nudge, telling me to go for it. But it was so out of my character because like I said, was kind of shy and timid. So even when I told my family, like my stepmom, that I wanted to go for this place, she was like, "You sure, Milan?" She's like, "You're gonna have to be on stage in front of people and actually say your lines and remember your lines and act it up." I was like, "Yeah, no, I think this is what I want to do." So I did. I ended up getting casted as the villain, Rooster, which is also so funny because I was such a good, nice kid, but I was casted as the villain. And the time came along, and I did the play, and I was actually really, really good. I was great. People loved my character. People were clapping for me. I had I felt like an energy. I felt an energy that I never really felt before, that I loved, that I held on to and everything. And I think what also helped me go towards that was I believe at some point this is kind of every kid's dream. Growing up watching the Disney Channel and stuff, everyone kind of wanted to be like a child star, like a kid star, kid actor on one of the Disney Channel shows and everything. So that was my dream when I was a kid. So that also, that was also incorporated in what drove me to acting and wanted to do acting. So I did the play, fell in love with acting from then, and then it was just all clear to me. It was just I want to be an actor. Mm-hmm. This is what I want to do. It was a passion that I instantly gravitated to. And it's so funny because before that, I wanted to be a photographer from when I was 8 years old in the 3rd grade. I always wanted to do photography and everything. And then the paradigm shifted where I didn't want to be behind the camera anymore and everything. I wanted to be now in front of the camera. Yeah. So the years came along. I started, acting more, doing more plays, and then just started perfecting my craft as the time came along. And then high school came. My freshman year of high school, I moved to Wilmington. My grandmother actually moved from Philadelphia to Delaware, Wilmington, and so I moved in with her. Yeah. And so I started high school in Wilmington, and then I ended up being able to go to this. It was a kind of like an invitation for. You ever hear on the radios, on the radio commercials? Oh, if you ever wanted to, be on the Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, or whatnot, come to this hotel. It's kind of it's a scouting. It was a scouting invitation. So they're like, oh, come to this hotel, the DoubleTree, and everything. If you ever want to, if you're a kid or want to do modeling or acting and everything. So I was 14. I heard it. I told my mom about it. I went there, did that. I ended up being, chosen, selected to go to this big scouting event, which was going to be happening a few months later in February 2008. So my mom paid what she had to pay for the package to be able to do it. I went there where they fly out all these agents, managers from all around the country. Well, the event itself is called Pro Scout.
Okay.
It was a very, very popular, prestigious scouting event. So I did that, and what you have to do, you have to, if you want to act, if you want to be an actor, you have to do a 30-second monologue. Do that, and if you want to model, you walk down the runway in front of these agents, managers, and whatnot. But actually, they really make you do it both, whether you want to act or model, because acting and modeling kind of go hand in hand. Okay. If you're a model, you're on commercials and everything.
Okay,
they want you to say lines and everything. If you're an actor, you can easily get,
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, you could easily get like a campaign deal or something.
To the average person, it's either act or you model. But I didn't realize, as you said, like in commercials, when you model, you got to act in a way. That's awesome.
Exactly.
Okay,
and that really kind of broadens your horizon of what you can get casted for, the jobs you can book, and everything. So that's what happened. I did that. I was called back from a couple agencies, agents, managers. It was this one talent manager from California that had called me back, and he told me, he was like, I like you. I liked your monologue. You did well, because what had happened the night before when I went to audition for my monologue, I wasn't picked to do monologues in front of the agents, but I thought that that was so unfair, because I knew that I was good at my talent. So I went to this guy. I went to this manager. I was like, they didn't pick me, but I know that I need to be like up there and do this in front of the judges, all of the different talent scouts and managers and agents and whatnot. So he told me to go back to the judge, plead my case to him, do it again. So I did, and then he put my name back on the list. On the list from me doing that. And then I was called back by that same manager that I went to, and he called me back. He was like, "You were right. You were right. You definitely deserve to be up there.
Yeah.
And your tenacity, your tenacity is very good, and that's what you need to keep going forward in this business." And so he would like to work with me, but he did not want to take me out of school, because I was 14 at the time. I was a freshman. He told me that he wanted me to graduate early when I was 17, graduate from high school when I was 17, go get my my diploma, and then go out to California, because that's where he was based, and he would start working with me then. So that was great.
And also, how old were you throughout this whole process?
I was 14 at the time.
14. Like, how are you mentally processing all of this?
Oh, I was on a high. I was on a high. I was like, oh snap! Like, this is real. Like, this can actually happen for me. I'm talking to this manager from California. He discovered Chad Michael Murray.
Okay.
From One Tree Hill.
Yeah.
He discovered Nate Parker from the same the same scouting event. Actually, Nate Parker had went through Pro Scouts, and he was discovered by him. You know who Nate Parker is, right?
I think I've heard of
The Great Debaters.
Okay.
Worked with Denzel Washington.
Okay.
Really, really great Black African American actor. So he's the one that discovered that. So I was on a high. Like, I went back to school telling everybody, like, oh, I remember this manager out from Hollywood and everything. He wants to work with me and stuff. So I was like on a high. But me being 14, in high school, I was on high, but the high did not carry me enough to do what I needed to do to graduate early. Okay. I just lived my normal life as a teenager, graduated like everyone else did. 18 senior year instead of my junior year, like he wanted me to. And then when I did, I reached out to him, but I I guess because I didn't follow his instructions, he was not as, I would say,
Receptive.
Yeah, receptive. He was not as willing to really help me. His demeanor had changed to more like, because I like, hey, I graduated high school.
All right, so a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're back here. Milo was just telling us our journey after finishing up high school to pursue his acting/modeling career, and we should resume.
So I had contacted the manager. His name is John Simmons, the acting manager from California, and I told him, I was like, hey, so I graduated. I'm ready to go out there. And he was like, okay, well, do you have a car to come out here? Do you have somewhere to stay, means to get around? Because it's going to be challenging, and you're going to need your own way. And I was like, I really don't, and everything. And then he was like, well, that's something you have to think about before trying to come out here and everything. So you should get that, together. So then, I kind of like, okay, well, this isn't really happening. So I went ahead and went on with life, working like an adult. Fell into some heavy partying and everything, which lasted over the years, which is one of the reasons why we've met. Yeah. And everything. Just being a party animal that I am. But I've also have done some. I have been included in some acting activities, different plays, a short film. I was assigned to a casting agency, casting management company outside of King of Prussia, which has landed me, a few roles and whatnot, not anything major, some extra roles and everything. I have played an extra on the House of Cards on Netflix.
Wait, really?
Along, yeah.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Kevin Spacey.
Stop! Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was in a scene with Kevin Spacey and also in a scene with Corey Stoll as well. But, as a
I had no idea.
As a humble extra.
See, this is the beauty about podcasts. You get to know things you wouldn't know otherwise. Yeah. It's not like you would randomly tell me that at a party.
I'm honestly surprised I didn't bring it up recently, or I haven't brought it up yet. That's surprised because usually, when I'm friends with someone,
right.
Like how we're friends and the caliber of our friendship, I usually do get to talking about that. So
yeah. Can you share a little bit about the one that's been popping off recently that recently got brought back into light?
Oh, when I played the extra on the Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So how did that one go down?
So this was back in 2017. I think 2017. This is when the Oxygen Network where they were doing their own. They were filming their own documentary on Jeffrey Dahmer, and so I was contacted by my agency. It's called Mike Lemon's Casting Agency, and they said that basically they had casted me chose me to play one of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims from his
insane.
From his chronicles. So I had played one of them. I think I played the guy that was deaf, Tony Evans, I believe.
Really?
I believe that's what they. I mean, you wouldn't really know from looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was supposed to be his character.
Wow.
So all it really showed me was me laying in the bed. This was after he had supposedly drugged me. And, I was passed out laying in the bed, and the guy who plays Jeffrey Dahmer laying next to me, kind of like just like looking over my body and my sleeping state and everything is like it's kind of intense. It's kind of look like looking at it on screen is kind of like kind of airy, but at the time that was happening, it was all professional. So it was just like, all right, this is job, we gotta get this done and everything. But looking at it on the screen, it's a little this is kind of weird to see. Kind of weird to see myself on on screen laying half naked in the bed with some white guy basically kind of like, having caressing me and everything. I was supposed to be knocked out on drugs.
So how do you get comfortable with stuff like that?
At the time,
I get it's a job, but like mentally, how do you prepare for stuff like that?
Well, at the time, I just looked at it as it was a job or something. And it wasn't like it was not uncomfortable at the time. And me, I'm very keen on being professional and doing what I have to do for the scene as an actor,
right?
As an actor, and even as a model, what I have to do for the photo shoot and everything. So I really go into everything with a clear mind, and and with confidence, and knowing, okay, I have a job to do, or I have something to give to this project or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I literally have to be a blank canvas and be used however I need to be used and everything. And so, like I said, it wasn't a very uncomfortable thing. As I just had to lay in the bed, and plus I knew what the scene was about because I had already researched Jeffrey Dahmer and knew what he did and how his murders were like what he was about. So I already knew they had. It was funny too because it was a couple of us like black guys there and everything. So they asked both of us. They were like, would either one of you be comfortable with just stripping down to your boxers and just like laying in the in the bed for the scene? I guess the other guy wasn't really comfortable because he was like hesitant and everything. I was like, oh, I will. I was like, I'm comfortable because one, I'm always comfortable. Like I've gotten to the place of my confidence and who I am as a person and everything, and my body is especially from working out all the time. Because, taking pride in my body and how I look and everything. I'm always comfortable when it comes to like stripping down and being half naked and just being exposed. Like it's there's never an uncomfortable thing for me. I've been an art model for Delaware College of Art Design before. Like I've been exposed way more, way more than just laying in bed in my boxes. So that was nothing for me. So I was like, I'll do it and everything. And then that's going on. And it wasn't. It also wasn't anything overly. It wasn't anything really overly sexual and everything. It was more so I'm knocked out from drugs. This guy is just like admiring my body and everything. It wasn't anything that pushed the envelope or pushed boundaries or anything like that. So it wasn't anything challenging for me. Now, if things had to be more physical and everything, a little bit more physical, then I probably would hesitate too. I definitely, I probably wouldn't have, but it wasn't anything crazy. So that's how I was, comfortable with that. Like I said, I'm a free spirit, go with the flow kind of person. So.
Yeah, man. You always stuck up very true to yourself, even from the little time. Because I think in all, I really haven't known you for too long. I haven't known you for too
February,
long. Yeah, really, but it feels like
January,
a long time
with
all the fun we've had together.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been less than a year. But I feel like, I've known you for, a while.
Yeah.
And everything. And I would say since moving back from California last year, you are one of the newer friends that I've met moving back from California that I, hold. Sorry about that. Promise not COVID. Second now. But,
right?
Yes, I would say so. Nothing a little fireball can't cure.
That was just a dragon in him. Spitting out some fireball.
Exactly. So yeah, I would say, you are one of the what's that word? Significant friends. You are one of my significant friends that I met since I moved back, that I actually hold you in the same in the same status grandeur as my closest friends that I've had before moving out.
I appreciate
and,
that.
you know, before I moved to California and everything. So yeah, so you know, you're definitely up there. Even though we've had 9 months.
Yeah,
9 months of
it really goes to show it doesn't matter how long. What matters is what happened
exactly.
within that time frame.
It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
The quality of our friendship.
So something I want to tap into a little bit, just because I haven't seen much of the side of Milan, is dating.
Dating?
Yeah,
we're get to that.
Are you okay to tap into that a little bit?
Hey,
you gotta put the shades on.
I'm an open book, you know. Read at your own discretion.
Are you seeing anyone? Is there someone on the horizon? Is Milan in search? What's going on?
Let's go down the list of those questions, answer them one by one. Seeing anyone? No, I am not. You know, I text here and there. That goes to and that is about the extent of my deal, like just texting. Mm-hmm. And I'm even bad at that. I suck at texting. I'm the worst texter ever, which is probably one of the main reasons, along with many, why I do not have a girlfriend now currently. You know, I suck at texting. You know, that being a reason. Another reason to answer your question is, no. I'm not looking, and crazy as that seems. I mean, look at me, like, how could I not be looking? You're looking for me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. They're looking for me, but I ain't checking for them. No, honestly, I would have to say at this point in my life, where I am with my peace and my freedom of myself and my happiness and my joy is that. And this is weird for like anybody, especially a guy, everything, which is why I think makes me distinctive and unique. I truly, 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 to the bottom of my heart, enjoy being alone, and being by myself and everything. And it's like I'm alone, but I'm not lonely at all. Yeah. Like I'm like I don't sit in my room up at night like, oh man, like what's wrong with me? I wish I had a girlfriend. Like, I wish I had that significant other and everything. Like, that's not where I am at all in life. And another reason why I'm not lonely, I also have so many friends. Yeah. And everything. So, and like also it's like I have female friends as well and everything. So, I mean like they're platonic of course, and you don't really cross that line, or most 90% of the exceptions. Yeah. But I really do. I would say my last relationship was when I was in 2017. So it's been 5 years that I've been single. Yeah. And even though that last relationship was not long at all, it was only 10 months. It was good, it was bad, it was fun, it was great, it was wild. I learned a lot from it. I learned a lot about myself from it. And what I learned about myself from that relationship is that I really do enjoy being single. Yeah. Because I can do what I want, do as I please, go where I want, go as I please. I don't have to check in with anyone, and not like I was in not like I was a warden of the state, or not that I was a prisoner or anything. Not like I had to, check in with my parole officer or anything. But it's just the whole like, oh, what are you doing? What are you up to? Where are you going? And everything. Yeah. And and like I wasn't being sneaky either. But sometimes like I just want to do me. I don't always want to check out. I'm doing this. I'm doing that, because then when I'm checking and everything, I also feel the next questions come along, or the suspicion come along. Oh, like, who are you there with? Like, what are you doing? Yeah, it's always a list of questions. Yeah, exactly. It's always a list of questions. And I'm like... It's 21 questions, not the fun kind. And not the fun kind, exactly. And I'm like, I'm doing, like, I'm here with friends. I'm like, it doesn't matter who I'm with. Yeah. And everything. I'm not doing anything, stupid or suspicious or anything. So getting out of that, relationship and breaking away from that confinement, I have really gained a lust for the freedom of life. Yeah. to the point where I just don't want to put that freedom and in jeopardy by going and doing something stupid by entertaining someone and
I hear you. So,
entertaining someone that could impede on that.
If I can ask, then what would it take to allow a woman in Milan's life?
That's a good one, and I think that also ties in what else I was going to say as well. As why I'm not dating and pursuing or entertaining someone. What it will take is someone who can match me, who can match my energy, who can be as I need someone who's confident, secure, outgoing, a little wild. I'm a little wild. I like to have fun and everything. And I don't take life too seriously at all. And it's funny too, because that's how my ex with me and my ex matched each other greatly. We were fun, wild, goofy as hell. I need where I'm at in life, the comfortability that I have in life with myself. I'm very comfortable. Like I know my ins and outs. I know my flaws. I am, sometimes I can be a lot to handle. I'm also very, very goofy, very silly, very just me, just a quirky person. Mm-hmm. I'm very quirky and everything. So, and I feel like a lot of women in today's generation, and not that it's a bad thing, and I get it. What they look for in a guy is, someone that they can be, I would say, somebody that
submissive to him.
Submissive, yes, but also that they can kind of mold them into what they want them to be, into the guy that they want, and someone who kind of puts it on the front, who kind of acts too cool and everything. They're like, oh, I can only date him because he acts a certain kind of way. He does. He does stuff like this and everything. He's not like that. I'm too much of a free spirit of just. You
can't be caged.
I can't be caged. I know that I'm a goofy, quirky guy and everything. I'm always going to be me.
Yeah.
So and a girl that's looking to date me and everything, I already know she's not going to really be comfortable with how comfortable I am with myself and everything. There's something that most guys do, to try to win over a girl.
Yeah.
And everything. I don't do any of that.
Right.
If you like me and you're going to, then you have to kind of meet me where I am. I'm not going out my way to meet you where you're at. And it sounds selfish, but at the same time, I'm fine with that in life because I don't want anyone anyway. So
that's what it's going to take.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. Someone who's going to really match me. I need someone who's going to be as confident I am. And I'm very friendly. I'm very outgoing. So if you see me being friendly, politicking, all up in different girls' faces saying hi, being friendly, hugging everything, because that's the person I am. I'm just that kind of guy. There's no type of anything behind that or strings attached. But I need you to be okay with that. And everything. Yeah. I need you to be okay with me. Talking to people, talking to different girls and everything. I'm not flirting with them and everything. It may seem like I'm being flirty and everything. I'm just being me. And you know what? I wouldn't care if it was the other way around because I'm confident and I'm secure in that. If someone is going to be for me and everything, then I'm going to trust that they're for me. If I have any type of doubt or inkling that they're moving funny or that they might be looking, at someone else or in their direction and everything. If I don't trust them, then what's the point of being with somebody that you don't trust?
Yeah,
and everything. So that never bothers me, and someone that's just amazing. You have to rock me off my socks.
For sure. Because if that spark is not there,
why
marry it any longer?
Yeah, exactly. Right? The spark has to be there, and also
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
In terms of compatibility, what does that mean to you when it comes to a partner? Is it being similar? Was it being different from one another?
For me, it has to be similar.
Okay.
For me, it has to be similar and everything. Because, you know, I need someone who like understands me and understands where I'm coming from if they're going to be with me in my life in that capacity and everything. Because I also know differences attract and everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of people think, you know, it's better to be the opposite of someone else because that's what's compatible and everything. But I feel like someone that's going to be the opposite of me is they're going to be too serious. They're going to be too serious about life. They're going to be too, you know, they're going to like, because I know one thing, I'm a mess. I'm a whole mess. So if I'm dating someone that has her life like way too together and everything, she's going to be sick of me. She's going to be sick of me. She's going to be like, yo, like, you know, this dude, you know, got a lot going on. He's a mess. He does not have his life in order together at all. Like, you know, and like, I don't need nobody to try to fix me, to try to use me like as a project, like, oh, you know, I'm going to help him with his life. No, I don't need any of that. Yeah. I know what I'm doing wrong, what I need to fix and everything. It's just all about me going forward and doing it. But I can't have anyone try to do that for me because that's going to be frustrating.
Do that at your own pace.
Yeah, exactly. At my own pace. So I need someone who sees me in all the mess that I am and you know, enjoys me regardless for it, and you know, wants to be there for it. Because that's another reason why I am not interested going. You know, why I'm not looking to date, because honestly, I am not in the right place in life today. Speaking of financially, I'm not in the right. I'm not financially responsible to be dating right now. Because I know if I know we're dating, we want to, you know, go out on dates and everything. You gotta, you know, pay for these. I know there's such thing as Dutch dating, but girls not gonna want a Dutch date all the time. Where you both pay your own ways and everything. And right now, where I'm in life, you know, I only have it really to be able to take care of myself.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really have it to really be treating like anybody else, you know, to anything like that. And so I know, you know, at first it won't be a big deal. They'll be like, oh, you know, that doesn't matter. I have my own. I can pay that and everything. But eventually, you're gonna want your man to take,
you
know,
for sure,
to take care of you,
for
take
sure.
care of everything.
Yeah.
Financially, I don't have it like that right now, and I know that. So it would be financially irresponsible for me to try to go out and like entertain different women and, you know, go on different dates and everything. Yeah. So that's another reason why I'm fine and I'm okay with being, you know, to myself and everything.
Because you're going at your own pace. You're very self-aware where you are, what you can and cannot do, and where you are in life. I mean, that's great. A lot of people, you know, go through life not really knowing that.
Yeah.
Earlier you said something that caught my attention was when one of the reasons you listed why you're currently not looking or single is because you're terrible at texting. Now, do you think in today's world that's one of the things you need to be good at in order to text? I mean, in order to be in a relationship, is having the ability to text, or is it the ability to communicate?
It's more so the ability to communicate.
Okay.
It's more so that everything.
Because there is, you know, those relationships that almost exist and mostly just text messages, like you said, like all the list of questions are had over text messages, like when you go out or stuff like that. It's never more so like in person, the kind of stuff like, hey babe, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna be with my friends, I'll get back when I get back, etc., etc. Or having the more complicated conversations over in person, over text. Do you think that's something in today's dating world that people need to be good at texting, or if not, it's gonna almost, you know, guarantee a failed relationship?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to guarantee a failed relationship. It's going to probably guarantee a strain on a relationship. So I do believe that that's one of the things that people do need to be pretty decent at. Try to be great at it and everything, but okay at it, pretty decent and everything. And I think even with me, you know, even with that, will come along with, you know, how interested I am in person, because I could be a better texter, you know, I could be more consistent with my text messages if I am really, really interested in this person.
Yeah.
Everything. But for me, I have not gotten past the stage of getting to know the person enough to be interested.
Yeah.
Because another thing is that not that I get bored easily. I don't have the capacity to put in effort to get to know anyone like that, because I don't really care much to know.
It's either we have it or we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I hear that.
Exactly. Now, like, you know, right now I am in a situation where I have been texting this girl, and we've been having a conversation in the past couple of days, and I've actually gotten a little bit more interested in her, to where my text messages are a little bit more consistent. You know, they're not like back to back yet, but you know, they're not as much of like hours apart.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of got it to like maybe 15 minutes apart now. But you know, like I said, I have been getting a little bit more interested in her, to where I've been wanting to consistently text even more. So it all lies in how much interest you have in the person.
For sure. I also feel like if you're constantly, you know, texting or seeing each other, you kind of miss that element of actually missing each other.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's times where, like, you know, like even with a friend, it's like if you guys don't see each other for like the longest time, you know, and you guys communicate from time to time, then once you see each other, the excitement of seeing each other is even greater, because the communication hasn't been there as much as it used to be.
Yeah.
Kind of like when what's it called, when you and I don't talk as much, and then we bump into each other at a bar. It's like, hey, kind of shit like that. You know, the excitement is there.
Exactly.
Right. So I think that's a challenge in today's world. Is the constant needing to know where I am, what I'm doing, what am I doing at this time, and that time. Especially if you already know the routine.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. If the routine doesn't change much, you know what's going on already. Then you know, I don't need to repeatedly. If I'm able to copy and paste the messages I've already answered, then you know, it's, you know, you need to ease off a little bit. I think a little bit.
Exactly. Which is also why I am also content with me just being in a place where I have friends and not a significant other, because you know, we're friends. You don't have to text each other all day. You don't have to text each other every day. But when you see each other, it's like we have a lot to talk about. Exactly. It's that. So, you know, that's also what I love. Another thing that also have been brought to my mind, which I might be, is also a romantic.
Okay.
And which basically means someone who lacks the emotional capability of intimacy.
Okay.
Which is what I believe I lack, because I have not had the urge or want to really be intimate with anyone in years and everything. Like, I'm completely fine with just being to myself. So I was talking about this with a friend from work, and it was like, oh, you may be a romantic. And I'm like, maybe. Anything. I mean, I'm completely fine with it now. Eventually, I hope in the future that could change, because you know, ultimately I do want family. That is a goal. Yeah, having a family, you know, a wife, kids, and everything. Right now, I can't see it, but anything can happen in the future, 3 years from now. So hopefully, you know, something like that change. But as of now, I'm completely fine with just living my blessed life. Yeah, alone.
For sure, man.
With friends.
I hear that. living your best life. Living your best life.
Yeah.
So, Milan, we got to talk about our relationship, how we met, all the fun that we've had, your time growing up, both in Philadelphia and in Wilmington, your time acting, modeling, leading into California and back, and even a little bit about your dating life.
Or lack thereof. Yes.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Any questions you have for me or anything like that of the sort?
Man, I don't know. I think you covered them all. You know, I just always enjoy being in your presence. You know, as a prestigious young man that you are.
No, please, no.
Everything, you know, you really are a pioneer I would say in our friendship, but everything
I appreciate that.
You're the boss man, so I just always enjoy
You're
our
the boss man
conversations.
yourself in your own ways.
No, well, you're the.
I think we all combine really well with our strengths. I think it all shows
exactly
like
well.
in terms of compatibility. How you were saying it's a likeness, but then when we have our differences, then when we combine, they come out to light a lot more.
Exactly.
Like I wouldn't be able to party as much if I didn't have you. So stuff like that.
Oh, so I'm actually good for something.
No, you're good for many things, my man. You're good for many things.
Wait till I tell my family this tomorrow. Thanksgiving, guys. Guess what? There is something that I'm actually good for. On the contrary,
no, man, you're a great dude. You've been genuine. I've never had a bad feeling about you.
I appreciate that.
Like I don't regret knowing you one bit.
Likewise.
It's been a good time from the jump. So,
The fun is mutual.
Milan, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you doing this on a short notice. But again, thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you later.
Yeah, exactly. In a few hours from now.
Party it up. All right.
Thank you, Emilio. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me. Love you, buddy. All right, can't wait to see you again.
You too. Hey, God bless.
Buddy.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
right?
Thanksgiving. Hey,